Fueled by Death Guest.
Did you ever think that you would not only be playing ping pong to the extent of the sport that you play it now, but that you'd be doing it also at your job? Did you ever think that would happen to you? Was that ever in the cards for you, Brad?
I mean, I did think at one point that I was going to be a professional ping pong player.
Okay.
Really? For real?
No, not for real.
I'm like that you went all in on that.
You're pretty good.
Like I'm okay. Like for a bunch of scrubs at work, I do all right.
Hey, don't call me scrub.
We're all scrubs when it comes to ping
I
pong.
do
we
not
think
ping,
we're good.
nor do I pong.
No, it's probably for the best.
Don't hate the ping, hate the pong.
I don't.
bro.
There's no hate. I just don't. There's no hate. I love that you guys all love the pinging and the pong.
You must hate because you never play.
No,
why
there's
don't,
no hate.
Why don't you ever play, Jeff?
Okay. Full disclosure, because it was right outside the door, and all I did all day, every day, was hear that damn ping pong going on. So I had no want to go out there and play ping pong. Now that it's not out there, maybe I will do it. But it's just, I don't know. It's
So you're like that old man yelling at kids to get off his lawn.
Yes, yes, I am. And they finally got off my lawn. I'm really excited about it.
We sure did.
Oh my god.
I think you should give it a go, Jeff. I think you'd be naturally bad at it.
I think I would be also naturally bad at it, for sure.
We have some people that you can compete with, though. I promise you.
I believe it.
Kane.
I believe it. I love that. I love that ping pong has become such a thing here.
It's crazy that these guys look forward to their breaks like nothing else because they just want to play ping pong.
Ping pong and magic
Well,
cards.
it was a.
Now they stay late. They
Yeah.
clock out and they go to the ping pong area and they just play ping pong for a half an hour,
beautiful.
to an hour.
It was
It's amazing.
It was a joke in the beginning, and fans of this podcast will remember when D-Man and I started. Right after we started on the crappiest wooden table ever created, and then right after that, Mike and Kame came back with the brand new conference table, which was the damn ping pong table. And
I think that's a great idea.
And
Kudos
we
to them.
recorded what 10, 20 episodes off that table, probably.
At least,
yeah,
a lot.
And that was
that was a step up from the
Totally.
table that was hot glued together.
Totally, and that was in the conference room.
ridiculous.
So ping pong only happened sporadically if there wasn't a meeting or like at the end of
I
the
don't know,
day.
it must have happened pretty frequently. The amount, like the people like the Erics and the Mikes and Thomas.
They would stay late.
You
just
know
like
how
you
Eric
said.
Those
is
guys are
with
good at pong.
games and yogurt parfaits.
Yeah.
And
He can't keep it
Tic
together,
Tacs.
man. Yeah.
But
Fruit flavored Tic Tacs.
whole packets of Tic Tacs all at once.
We're worried
Dude, you're
about
not
you,
supposed
Eric.
to eat it
I
like
am
that.
worried.
And he's like, don't tell me how to eat my Tic Tacs.
Yes.
we try to tell them.
He actually stopped. He is no longer eating Tic Tacs.
I haven't
Good.
seen with him in a while.
Yeah, no,
Good.
he's
He
reformed
probably just
now.
can't afford it.
He found Jesus. He stopped eating Tic Tacs.
Good. Good. That's good.
Hey, I just want to give some background a little bit because I have a great personal relationship with Brad.
Yeah, me too. We've known each other for a very long time.
Yeah, you two have known each other for a while, but more immediate, Brad and I had worked together in the restaurant industry for a couple years, pretty much.
Seemed like 20 years. But
You
yeah.
think we'd ever be working together again?
When you left, no, I didn't, because you went on to do bigger and better things. But and then when I finally was like, I need to get the heck out of this kitchen.
You can swear. This is Deathwish Coffee.
I need to get the fuck out of the
There we
kitchen
go.
Yeah.
because I'm just tired of it. And I text Donovan, say, hey, you guys hiring? And he was like, you should just put in a resume.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
remember he called me immediately, and he was like, what do you think about hiring Brad? I was like,
Do it.
Not only do I think that's a good idea, I want him on the logistics team.
Yes.
Immediately.
Yes.
And they're like, well, we're going to bring him up in the production, and then we'll slowly
I'm
move
glad
him
I
into
started down
logistics."
there, though, to be honest. I'm
Yeah.
glad I got to do the whole thing.
I think there's a lot about that when you start a job and you start at the bottom and you work your way to the top. And
Yeah.
not only do you learn more, it feels more accomplishing.
You feel more valuable when you know how to do more than what you just hired to do.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about your first days here, like on the job. Like you were packing K-cups, right?
I was fortunate, and everybody starts packing K-cups.
Yeah.
You just count to 10 or 50, 1,000 times a day or more.
Yeah.
It's a pretty mind-numbing
It is,
job.
but after the first, I'd say 3 days, I didn't really mind anymore. I was like, this is just what I do for 8 hours. It's
Well, yeah,
really
it's chill.
not
You can listen to
hard.
any
Yeah, I
music
just
you
listen to
want.
music and just put cups in a bag. But then I got lucky, and other Brad looking out for me.
Yeah.
When they needed someone to go work in the 5-pound warehouse with Joe,
Right.
he was like, you should send Brad over there. He'll tell Joe to get the heck off his phone all the time. So that's what I did, and getting to work over there was way better than packing K-Cups.
Yeah.
I got to pack 5-pound bags with Joe, he's all right.
Joe's chill. I like Joe.
Joe's a fucking rad dude, and he really helped me get comfortable in the production side of like Death Wish, quickly. Like we had a good thing going over there, so I got lucky. I didn't have to pack cups for that long.
And your job has since even evolved further. And for those of you who might have heard us on previous podcasts talk about this, there is an entity now at Death Wish Coffee, the Brads, and you are one half of this entity.
I am, one of us is always angry, and the other one is always trying to, pick up the people that have to deal with the wrath of the other one.
And it switches.
Yeah, it switches a lot.
It switches, and I've been the good Brad lately. Like I don't know what his deal is, but he just likes to yell at anyone that walks through the door, and I get a kick out of it. But then I get a kick out of being the nice guy. It's kind of fun. There's a few people that it's the exception. He's nice too, and
I think that's part of a good team, and I felt that happened a lot in a lot of different bands where if the sensible person went over the handlebars, then the person who usually goes over the handlebars becomes the sensible person.
Someone's got to be the
and it's not always like that.
Right.
That is just the sign of a good team or a good duo or whatever's going on. You have your yin and your yang, and everything goes nicely. So now you went from moving cups and packing bags, and now you're full blown on a logistics team.
Yeah.
How do you like doing the whole logistics scene of dealing with the trucking and
what's your daily grind like? Like what do you have to?
I basically supply the production team with the supplies and the coffee they need to do their job.
Yep.
Once they finish packing, it comes back to me in packages, and then we wrap the pallets and we put them on trucks or do whatever's got to get done with them.
Yeah.
Ship them to whatever platform needs the coffee. I spend probably half my day on a forklift.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going back and forth across that.
I like the
across the two
forklift,
warehouses.
Yeah, I
a
don't
lot.
mind it so much. It's like it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's not so bad. You're just driving around on a forklift. The one thing I hate is it's small quarters, and we have a lot of people that just aren't always super aware of their surroundings.
Yeah, I walked out in front of the forklift today.
Oh, Jesus, Jeff.
And when you're on a forklift, your sight is very limited to like right in between these bars or to your.
And
your
that's if you
periphery.
don't have a load that completely blocks your sight.
Which he did.
I did, but it wasn't all the way up. So I could have seen him, but he happened to like sneak out at the right time.
I ran.
He's a sneaky son of a bitch. And by the time I saw him, I was like, Jeff, announce yourself. Let me see
Yeah,
you.
you got to be careful. That's it. Safety video for Jeff.
Safety video for me.
But it's not just Jeff. And it's, you're comfortable with where you work. You don't really always think there's
Right.
a 6,000-pound machine barreling around. So
Yeah,
you
that's
gotta
the
be just
thing.
really
You don't
cautious,
think it's as dangerous as it is. Those
Yeah.
forklifts are fucking
Yeah,
heavy.
They'll kill you.
And
You could kill someone
they will
very
will
quickly.
ignore your squishy body like there's nothing there.
Yeah.
They will just keep
Yes.
on going
Yes, they
through whatever's in the way.
I've brought this up on many past podcasts, and I'm going to say it again. If you're not following the Instagram account, OSHA Is This Okay? Follow that account because not only is it hilarious, but it definitely shows you what can really go wrong inside of a warehouse sometimes.
Yeah.
So you now really have a lot of responsibility of making sure that not only that the production side is running smoothly, but then once they're done producing, that all of that is going out. And you've been here now. We're just about to celebrate you here for a full year, which is awesome. So can you talk a little bit about how you've seen the company change since your first day to now, especially with your role? Because we're doing a lot more retail. We're doing a lot more trucks are coming through.
Yeah, when I started, it was still, I don't know. It's hard to put into words, but the amount the place has changed in the year,
Yeah.
like equipment-wise, staff-wise, like just job-wise, like how much more is happening is quite dramatic. I've never quite experienced anything like it. Like I've worked in Saratoga kitchens where you experience that type of growth every year in like June, July, gearing up for the track for a month.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like, but on a scale this big and how it's happening constantly, it's pretty neat to see. So
Yeah.
look forward to seeing where it goes from there.
speaking on kitchen work, because we brought this up earlier, and Dustin and you were both in a kitchen together. You and I have been in multiple kitchens together.
Oh, yeah.
true.
Sorry, yeah.
What was I get this question sometimes too, because I was a cook for the better part of 2 decades, as were you. What kept you going in that industry? What did you enjoy about being a cook?
Nothing.
Nothing by the
It's
end.
a
It was
good
just
answer.
The fact that like I knew how to do it.
Yeah.
And it was
You were good at it.
like I could. But by the time I got to Esperanto, it was a totally different type of cooking.
Right.
Like I wasn't on a line cooking per order. I was just making the stuff so those other guys could do that.
And you
Yeah.
were running the kitchen too,
Right,
so
like-
that becomes a little fun. You get to be a little creative with what
exactly.
you make
I got
and
to
stuff.
like the Esperanto thing was just way different. Like I would have probably tried to get out a lot sooner if it wasn't for working there, because that place was a lot of fun to work at.
And Will is one of
The
the
man.
best people in the world, and
Heck
he's
yeah.
awesome to work for. He cares about his people.
He's a little
and
tough
he's
to get
always
riled
looking
up
out.
sometimes,
Yeah.
but he's a genuine dude. And
Seriously, yeah, and that's hard to find.
I still
That's hard
talk
find.
to the guy. He's just
Do
a man.
do you miss kitchen work at all? Do you miss cooking?
No, that being said, I do make an appearance down there every now and then, throw on some gloves and roll some doughboys.
Yeah.
Or
Oh
old boys.
boys now, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
careful.
You gotta roll the old boys.
So you still get a little bit of it. That's cool.
Yeah, it's if I'm there.
Do you find yourself cooking more at home?
No.
No?
No.
You know, I'm the same way. I get that question all the time too. Like, do you enjoy cooking? Like,
No, I'm fucking free.
Yeah.
Run!
I do enjoy cooking more when I do cook at home, but
Yeah.
I don't cook like more. It's not like, oh, I'm not doing it for my job anymore. It's like I still eat out and I
Yeah.
still like
I
order
always talk
food
about
or
it. But
Yeah.
we never. You know, we do make dinner at home a lot, but I don't go out of my way to make.
yeah. No, I'm
fancy
with you.
shit. I'm like-
I'm with you.
So I gotta say, after working with you for some time, and specifically working with you on the team here, there are 2 qualities that stand out to me quite a bit that I respect heavily.
Your smell.
It's a little rough today.
Well, the first one's my favorite, and I knew that you had this ability coming in here. You don't suffer fools.
No.
And I really love that. The second one being is that you run towards responsibility. So 2 questions following
We're gonna
that.
get places.
Were you always like that, and where does that come from?
You know, I don't know. Maybe it's because I just always worked in kitchens and it was always hard work. And if you ever
Yeah.
wanted to do anything other than what you were doing, you had to work a little harder. And you know, I've always just assumed that you're gonna get what you want by working for it. You know?
Yeah,
You
go
can't
figure. A
expect
lot of people
everything
don't. A lot of people don't understand that.
It is the truth from speaking from kitchen experience. That is inherently, and anybody who's listening or watching who's been in that industry will understand this as well. It's inherently, if you don't push for it, you'll never get there. Most people, when they start out in a kitchen, start out as a dishwasher.
Yeah.
Or if you're lucky, you're on something like prep or salads.
Yeah.
If you want to be a line cook, you have to put the hours in and prove to your head chef, I'm worth it to be put behind this line.
Yeah,
Like,
it's where the
there were
more
multiple.
money and
There were multiple kitchens that I worked with Brad that I started out as a dishwasher as he was a cook, and I had to push my way up to even being on that line.
Well, just to say that mindset in a setting like, you know, a small business turning into a big business.
Yeah.
Man, that is fucking priceless.
Yeah.
And I have that mindset too, and that's why I'm at where I'm at, because you have to fucking work for what you want to get.
Yeah.
And it's that easy. You just find something that needs to get done and you fucking do that. And I've said that 100 times on this show. And and that's why I like to bring specific people like you, and like I think Eric Valentine has a little bit of that mentality too.
No,
And
we
I
have a
love
great team
seeing
over
that.
there, like,
But that whole
guys.
suffer no fools thing. Your parents must have been hard asses or something.
yeah, they
You-
didn't put up with shit.
Yeah, you definitely have that about you. I
3
love that.
boys
Yeah.
growing up in a house with 2 parents that don't give shit for shit. Like both, I love your mother and father, and both of them are exactly like that. Like, I don't care if you're a fool. Get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, if you
I
messed
love
up,
it, man.
They made sure you knew that you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you find that ever gets you in trouble? You ever cross that line?
Yeah, constantly. Because I have a hard time filtering what I feel sometimes, and if someone's being a fool, I
Don't point at me when you say
all right. You keep using the word fool, not you. But if someone's being a fool,
Yes.
it's hard for me to not speak out.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm not the most,
And some people are made of
sensitive.
glass,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, they are.
And
It's gotten me into trouble. Quite a bit of other jobs.
yeah,
I
I
used to
bet
see
in
the
Vermont
HR.
it was a hoot too, because
well,
people are a lot softer.
If I
in
wasn't
Vermont.
in the union, I would have been fired 30 times over.
Wow. Yeah.
I just constantly, I didn't matter. I would say little things, and someone would hear me in a different department, and all of a sudden you got to go get your union rep and go talk to your manager. I'm like, son of a bitch, what did I do now?
Ugh.
So do you take effort to kind of keep that in check?
Yes, here I do because I like it here, and I like
A lot of
the
cool
I work
people
with.
here. Yeah. Even the people who act foolish, I love them to death.
No, they're all great. Like, we have really cool team to work with. So like, I don't want to piss anyone off, and I want to be on everyone's good side. So try to, like, even when they're being whoever, try not to be too harsh.
So what do you
good.
do to like keep that back when you feel it come up and you're like, I'm gonna tell him he's an asshole?
Go play some ping pong.
Yeah, ping pong, man.
That's why you're so good.
Keeps everybody sane around here.
That's the trick.
Now, we've known each other for a while. You've also known a lot of the people who work here. So this is probably an easy question to ascertain the answer to. But do you remember when you first heard about Death Wish Coffee as a local?
Yeah.
Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, I worked at Esperanto for years.
Yeah.
And when they started, I was working, 50 yards away.
So you knew right when they were coming out of the basement.
Yeah, I never really, didn't really pay much attention because I was always I stopped at Stewart's, got myself a Stewart's cup of coffee.
Right. Yep.
Did the same thing on my way home. But I just remember it was probably 2012 or 2013.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, you got to try Death Wish, like Eric maybe. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. And I do remember my very first cup of Death Wish.
Really?
Like drinking about 3/4 of it and literally shaking.
Yeah.
And being like, I drink a lot of coffee and I've never felt like this before.
Fun story.
And I've never gone back.
Fun story. Brad and I lived together a couple times, actually, in various apartments. But there's this one apartment, the one out in Gansvert, and we both worked nights at a kitchen. And we would get out of work at night, and we would have a pot of iced coffee waiting in the fridge, which we would drink until about 4 or 5 in the morning. But we would brew another pot of coffee, so we would have another pot of coffee waiting for us when we woke up in the afternoon, morning-esque to get ready to go to work again.
Jeez.
Yeah, we would
have
not
the
stop. We would not stop drinking coffee, like a lot of coffee. Yeah, so that's cool. That like for someone who is like almost bleeds black brew, like Death Wish actually affected you that way.
It really did. But, I freaking drink that shit all the time.
And you drink a lot of coffee in general.
Yeah, I've been trying recently to cut back a little.
What's your average intake?
Like on a work day, probably like 4 cups. On the weekend, I'll wake up, make a pot of coffee, and drink pretty much the whole thing. Caitlin might have a cup, and then I'll just finish the rest.
Wow.
Sometimes I'll drink
Well, your
a little
wife's a
more.
big coffee drinker too.
Yeah, she has like a cup a day.
Yeah.
She's a cup a day.
When it gets out of hand, how much do you drink?
It's been a while, but I've used to have days where I just drink it straight till I went to bed.
Yeah.
Probably just,
Wow.
the caffeine just doesn't affect you anymore. You
Yep.
just go right to
Those
sleep,
days,
coffee
like,
in your hand.
if we were to get home and not drink coffee, we couldn't go to sleep. We had to literally ingest at least 2 cups of coffee so we could fall asleep.
And then play a bunch of video games.
Play a bunch
till
of
our
video
brains
games.
melted.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's get off of coffee talk then. Yeah, let's talk about like
Coffee talk.
Coffee talk. What you like to do outside of work. You enjoy a lot of the same things that Dustin and I do.
Yeah, I mean, I like playing video games.
Oh yeah.
I like camping.
You are a
Quite a
big.
bit.
You're big into the
I like
outdoors.
fishing.
Yeah.
I like to say I like hiking, but it's been a while, so
Yeah.
it's hard to say that I like it. But I do.
You
I enjoy
do
it. It's just tough to get out there sometimes.
a yearly fishing tournament, right?
A couple. I had
Really?
Four of them. Yeah.
Oh,
You do
wow.
4 tournaments?
Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
2 ice fishing tournaments and 2 bass fishing.
What? How long have you been doing this?
For a long time. Like I skipped a bunch of years when I was.
It's you and your dad that do them, right?
It happens at my father's camp. He's part of a camp that's 10 members, and they do 4 fishing tournaments a year.
Do you like to fish not in the winter, or do you like to ice fish? Do you like regular fish or ice fish?
I prefer regular fishing.
Yeah.
It's just a little more relaxing.
Yeah.
Ice fishing is a lot more work.
Yeah.
Because you're dragging all your shit around. It's
Cold.
freezing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to get, like, say your fucking tip up's 20, 30 yards away, if your flag goes up, you're running through snow and ice to
Ah.
get there. Unless you have a snowmobile, which I
Right.
don't have,
Right.
so it's all on foot. It's a lot more work, but it is fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time. I
Have
mean,
Have you ever won any of the tournaments?
I've never won first place. No.
You placed though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have placed,
Nice.
but I've never won.
Was it a big one?
No.
Is this a good show?
Is it on? Is it on? Based on size of fish or amount of fish?
There's different categories.
Yeah.
Like for the ice fishing tournaments,
Mhm.
it's biggest fish, doesn't matter the species, biggest fish wins, and then there might be second or third place prize.
Yeah.
The bass fishing tournaments is like the biggest bass by weight
Right.
wins the tournament.
Yeah.
So like I haven't caught the biggest bass yet. I've come close. I've never won.
Fun fact about Brad is he does 4 fishing tournaments a year and he hates eating fish.
Yes.
I was about to ask.
No, that all right. The spring bass tournament,
Uh-huh.
they do a fish fry.
Uh-huh.
They keep all the panfish, the sunfish, the rock bass, like
Yep.
the not game fish.
Right.
They keep those, and we bring them all back to the camp, and they do up a little fillet line.
Yeah.
We fillet them, bread them, fry them.
Mm.
I will eat those fish.
Yeah. Sounds.
Because I know where they come from. I know the lake they come from.
Oh, all right. So that's why you
anything
don't like
from the ocean.
Nope, you don't want to eat it.
I'm not touching it.
All right.
Like
All right.
the ocean's
Even if you catch it?
no. Well, first of all, the ocean is just filled with trash.
It's true.
It's filled with trash.
That's true.
All the fish eat plastic. They're all filled with trash.
Oh, no.
I'm not eating anything from the
Doom and gloom.
ocean. It's not. I think it's filled with radioactive trash.
All right. It's okay.
I've learned from comic
And
books that
lots of waste.
radioactivity is a good thing.
Yeah. You know how are you gonna become the Hulk if you don't get a little bit of radioactivity in?
Speaking of the Hulk, where did your love? You have a deep love for the Hulk.
I don't know, because he's just so angry and he just wants to be left alone. Like, gotta sympathize with the guy, kind of understand.
I mean, we talk to a lot of comic professionals on this show, and we
some-
have a lot of connects with comic
they're the
professionals
best.
and sideshow collectibles and that kind of stuff. And I've known you through comic circles, even outside of our friend circles and stuff like that. Is the Hulk your favorite comic book character of all time? Would you say that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over Green Lantern?
Yeah.
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 Why do you like Green Lantern?
Yeah. Is it just the green? Do you like things that are
No,
green?
no,
or-
The Green Lantern, that was a weird thing. I didn't really read anything DC, but there was a time when they did this with all the art. Yeah, the Blackest Night. All the art looked really cool, the colors and everything. So I was like, I'm gonna check it out. It was by a pretty well-known writer, and it happened to be really awesome. And I enjoyed it for years.
Who's that? Jeff Johns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he left the book, like he tied up everything very neatly,
Nice.
and it came together so well. And like, I kept collecting it after he stopped writing it, but not for long. Not that they weren't doing a good job. I just wasn't invested anymore.
Yeah.
I'm more invested in the Marvel universe overall, anyway.
Yeah.
So I just kind of, Hulk's my guy though.
Hulk's your guy. That's
So you're a hater of everything
And
pop
Captain
culture.
America.
What do you think of the new Marvel movies?
I don't mind them. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah. What do you think
Yeah.
of the Deadpool movies?
I think the Deadpool movies are right on.
Nice. Okay.
They're
Good.
fantastic.
Yeah,
As
they
of
are
recording
fantastic.
this episode, it is official that Disney bought Fox, so Deadpool is part of the Disney camp now. So, not 100% like in the next year, but in the next few years, we'll definitely see
Good.
Deadpool, X-Men, Fantastic Four all interact with the Avengers. So that'll be a lot of fun.
I would like to see a Deadpool and Wolverine movie.
Yeah, we might get it.
How
could have done it
cool would
already,
that
right?
be?
Yeah.
How
just
cool
haven't
would that
done
be?
Yeah.
Were they able to do that before the Fox deal?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Fox owns
Owned
Deadpool and
X-Men.
X-Men, so they could have done it, but they just
Oh,
they
wow.
just didn't get around to it because they were telling their own story with
Man,
with
Well, they
Wolverine.
put Deadpool in the Wolverine movie. Do you remember?
Yeah,
one
the
X-Men?
Oh
original
yeah,
one.
that's right. I forgot.
And then
Yeah.
they took the Merc with the mouse mouth.
all
Oh,
off.
I
Yeah.
forgot
Sealed it
about
shut,
that.
and then
That
gave
was
him
pre-Disney,
sword
right?
That was
hands.
pre everything. That
Yeah.
was pre even Fox
Laser
understanding what they
eyeballs.
had. Like, yeah.
Oh
Yep.
man, that was terrible.
Yeah. So now we'll see where that kind of stuff goes. But it's exciting to be a nerd in this time frame.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. We get the best things.
The movies
really
are
the
great.
games are so good.
Yeah.
If I go back in time and see my younger self, that's what I'd be like, dude, the games get awesome.
Yeah.
Just hang in there.
Yeah.
The
keep
games
playing
get
Mario,
really awesome.
You're gonna love what's coming.
Like especially like the RPG action genre, they have done really fucking amazing things with
Yeah,
that.
games just they don't die now. Like you
Yeah.
can play them for years. You don't just beat it and be like, "Cool, I beat it." Like,
Yeah.
you can keep fucking playing.
It's
And,
another fucking universe.
Yeah, and let's talk about video games because you are a big gamer, and you've been that way as long as I've known you. We've been since kids, playing games, and like you said, a game that came out in 2011 was Elder Scrolls Skyrim, and I'm sure a lot of you guys probably know about that game.
That was
too.
2011.
I still haven't put it down. I still,
my
from time to
God.
time, put it on and play that game. So
Yeah.
games are timeless at this point because they're so great. What are some either genres or games that you just can't put down?
Pretty much just what do they call them?
Action RPGs?
No, loot shooters.
Loot shooters?
Yeah, where you just try to get loot, try to get better gear,
Yeah.
like Destiny.
You guys are both
Borderlands.
into really Borderlands. You
Yeah,
like?
shit like that.
Yeah.
Where it's just a grind to try to get cooler shit.
Were you into the Mass Effect games at all?
Fuck yeah, the Mass Effect games are fantastic. The fourth one, whatever.
Yeah.
People hate it. I kind of hate it.
But that was the same kind of
But-
idea where you're
but the
just
third one
constantly
was
leveling up
fucking
your
amazing.
gear and leveling up everything. Yeah.
That one kind of had an
story.
end. Like,
It
there
was pretty linear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a multiplayer you can do that.
It was more like an interactive sci-fi movie. The first one was.
Yeah, the
it
first one
was
was-
less of a level up your character, build
Second one,
characters.
a little bit more
Yeah.
building and shit. The third one was fucking awesome.
But I thought the storyline on the first one was the best, though.
Probably.
You're like, I don't care about storylines.
No. The story in the Mass Effect series was amazing. The
Yeah.
first three games.
When we were younger, Final Fantasy was everything. We
Yes.
played all the Final
Yeah.
Fantasies forever. Are you
Yeah.
still an RPG fan at all?
I feel like RPGs, I don't know what happened. I just don't have the fucking patience for them anymore.
I hear you.
Like, there's too much talk to somebody, run, do something, talk to somebody. And it's just like there's too much shit they put on you to do. Like, what you don't have to do a lot of it. I
Right.
get that. It's a lot of side quest nonsense. But I like to do as much as I can in the game.
Yeah.
So I just get bogged down with all that shit. So most recent RPGs, I just don't have the love for them like I used to.
Yeah.
Like, they're too open-ended.
Yeah.
I know, like, people want the open world experience, and I understand that. But with those, like, there's no real direction. You can just do whatever the fuck you want, and I don't know. I feel like I want something to work for.
There's a fine line that's crossed a lot. Like I mentioned Skyrim. I think they do really good job with those games. I think they do a good job with the Fallout games. A more action RPG is like the God of War series or Assassin's Creed. I think does a really good job. But like again, going back to like our go-to, which was Final Fantasy for years, I haven't liked a Final Fantasy in years. I've tried. I try
It's
every
been
single new one that
garbage.
comes out, and I feel the same way. It's like I don't have the patience to slog through all of this.
Yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy 15 has a lot of really cool stuff about it.
Yeah.
But just like with all those other games, like the Skyrims and the Fallouts, I felt like the repetitiveness was just too much to bear. Like, and I
Yeah.
get the same thing with Destiny from time to time. But at least with games like that, like, the variance changes with who you play with and what activities you're doing.
Right.
Like, there's so much more you can do.
Yeah.
Depending on, like, your team, all that stuff, and not to mention PvP. But with the other games, it gets a little repetitive.
Yeah, games almost become too realistic, where it's like, this is not even an escape. I'm just doing more work.
Yeah.
I'm playing video games to get out of work,
Like, I
like
need
to just
combat
get home and
variants,
relax, not just like keep on working. But I like all those.
Oh, I get it.
types
Like,
games, though, personally.
I loved Fallout 3, and don't ask me why I couldn't get into Fallout 4, but I just couldn't.
What about
Yeah.
New Vegas?
I hated that one.
Fucking Christ,
You
man.
loved it. I know.
And I know a couple people that really
I think
loved
New
that.
Vegas might be my favorite, just
Wow.
because of I love that whole
hated
like
getting
casino gambling mecca in the middle of a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
All the bright lights and garbage
Yeah.
mixed together. I thought that was a really cool dichotomy
I thought it
situation
was going
to
to be
play in.
awesome, too. And that's around the time I just was like, I just can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I need more
Interesting.
variance in my combat. And, like a game like Skyrim, I feel like I would love that game
Mm-hmm.
if the combat was Dark Souls.
I
Mm.
never
And-
played Dark
And
Souls.
you
Dark
love
Souls,
Dark
like,
Souls.
the combat's very engaging and very
Yeah.
strategic, whereas, like, I'm not trying to knock Skyrim, but, like, doing this over and over again
Yeah.
is really fucking repetitive.
Yeah.
Like, and I know people like that because there's a grind to that game. And
Yeah.
I get that, the fucking RPG grind. If you're into that
Yeah.
shit, those games are awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just, like, not what I'm into anymore, I guess.
Speaking on games, though, I do want to throw this out there. Something that we've been trying to develop here at Deathwish Coffee that you are going to be a huge part of is our Twitch stream.
It's so hard to find the time.
It is hard to find the time. We are going to get better at it. Twitch.tv/Deathwish Coffee.
We will get better at video games, I promise.
We're going to get better at playing them. But I definitely want to have you play more because you play a lot of games. I want to have you play the games that you like. One of the games that I love watching Brad play is that Friday the 13th game where you get to be Jason and kill campers, which is awesome. Or you get to be the campers running away from Jason. But is there any games coming out by the end of 2018 that you can't wait for? Is there anything that's on the horizon?
Not that I can think of other than just Destiny expansion.
Destiny expansion, yes.
Yeah.
Which is basically like gonna make Destiny another game.
And that's, again, a cool thing about the future that we live in. You know, like, go back to Nintendo, it's like Mario came out, and it was like, Mario is amazing, and then they came out with Mario 2, and it was like, cool, I gotta go buy this next game, which I'm gonna love because I love this first platform. Now we have games that are like, oh, you like this game? Here's more of the game.
Yeah.
And now, a couple months later, it's like, oh, you like
They keep
more of
on
that?
making the
Here's
game.
more of
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I gotta ask, and I think for me it works particularly well working in the logistics field. Do you find that video games have built a skill that you're using now at work?
Managing inventory.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a real thing in a lot of these games.
Yes,
You have to
and
manage
it-
what you can what
And
you
it
need.
translates. I
It
really
kinda
believe
does.
like
I don't know if I learned it from the video games or from jobs.
or
vice
if you
versa.
just have a love for dealing with inventories.
That's kind of that's why I love collecting
Again.
comic books.
Watching Brad play Final Fantasy when we were younger, like it would be, and I love doing it too, but I would love to watch him just sit in his inventory and be like, okay, this armor is gonna go up here and put this gauntlet
sort it,
next to
man.
this
You gotta
stuff,
make it
and make
organized.
sure that and everything's sorted and in its place, and it's like, okay, now I can go fight something.
Dude, if you're that type of person, get into logistics.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
It just makes sense, and I never, in my mind, and you're probably the same way,
Yeah.
thought I would ever be a logistician.
Right.
But
Logistician.
it's a word.
I believe you. It sounds like a
But
good
now
ring to
that I'm here working that side of things, it makes sense. It's like, oh, I should have been here a while ago.
yeah. Yeah.
That's
That's
why
cool.
starting to order for Esperanto's, doing all the ordering and stuff,
Yep.
kind of came easy. I was like, I could look at what I had and what do I need, and like, it's just it all does. You're right. It does translate from job to video game, and from video game to your job. man.
Yeah,
It's
cool.
real. It's
see,
real.
See, Mom, video games are helpful.
Fuck you, Mom.
So through it all, Brad, through going through the years in the kitchen industry, and now making sure that this company is working right on a day-to-day basis, and also all of the hobbies that you love to do, being outside, fishing, and video games and stuff like that. What fuels you to keep doing it all? What fuels you to keep going at
What
it?
makes Brad tick?
Yeah.
It doesn't take much.
Yeah?
Just like, I don't really. I live day to day, moment to moment, kind of. I don't really like to make plans because I often forget that I make them and then I get in trouble. So I just live from day to day, and
You just live in the moment.
yeah, more or less, I go.
It's a
go
great
with
answer.
that.
What a Ronin.
Yeah. You are a Ronin. For sure.
I don't
For
know,
sure.
I hate making plans because, like I said, I always freaking forget them.
What
have
what
confidence.
gives
That's what
you
you have a wife for.
What gives
to
you
remember
the-
those plans.
the biggest rush of dopamine? What's the thing? You ever catch yourself doing a thing and you're like, oh, I love what I'm doing right now?
Yeah, I mean, fishing, catching like a fucking big fish after a long day, it always
Yeah.
feels awesome. Or beating a fucking boss in a
Oh,
game
yeah.
that gives you a particularly
It's the
hard
best.
time, that feels fucking
Or
awesome.
Mercy and Kane in ping pong?
Mercy and
Oh, it
Kane
feels so
in ping
good. That's
pong.
gotta feel so good. That had to feel awesome.
The second time felt just as good as the first.
Yeah, because he gave him a drubbing the second time, too.
Oh,
It was
that's
like,
awesome.
oh, yeah, it wasn't luck.
It's
You
really
just
weird,
suck
'cause-
today.
It's really weird because he's a really good ping pong
Yeah, he
player,
is.
and most of the time he's my nightmare on that table. But recently,
But he's a nightmare because he's so temperamental. He's always smashing
He is.
things,
Yep.
and it's it's a double-edged sword, man. That no control can get out of control sometimes.
It's the truth.
Mhm.
It's the truth.
He's a good ponger though.
So, back on Deathwish Coffee, you've been here now for a year, and you've obviously known about the company since its inception. Is there anything that you haven't seen this company try or do that you think we should try for? Is there any kind of, is there something a piece of merchandise we haven't made, or maybe like an industry we haven't really tapped into yet, or?
I think the gaming industry.
Is
a huge one that we could tap into.
I agree. Well, that's why I want to
have that truck down at E3. We should have that truck at these big gaming conferences.
I agree, because gamers stay up all night.
All fucking night.
No, you said it yourself. That's what you guys used to do.
Yeah.
If Death Wish Coffee was around when you guys were coming home,
we would have drank a hell of a lot less coffee.
Yeah, there's that, but you would have gone straight for Death Wish Coffee. That would have been
Definitely.
your go-to. You would have had all the stickers on all your controllers.
Definitely.
And everything.
Definitely.
You would have all your Xboxes would have a Death Wish Coffee sticker.
This is to date us, but this was either PlayStation 1 or 2 or Nintendo GameCube.
Oh, yeah, that was the GameCube days.
Yeah.
For sure.
I miss N64, man.
Yeah.
Those are some of the best games.
Yeah, that was the great thing about the GameCube
Super
is on the
Nintendo.
side of the GameCube.
Super Nintendo too. Yeah.
You could plug in your N64 controllers and play N64 games on the GameCube. That was
Oh,
awesome.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was a cool little system.
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah,
Sign me up, man.
I wasted so many hours with that game.
I must have beaten that 18 times.
Such
I
a good
found
game.
every little missing treasure.
You've never been a
You
Zelda
didn't
fan.
like it.
No, he's never been a Zelda
I
fan.
liked the first one.
Yeah, the
second
original.
one made me so mad.
Yeah.
That I
The
never
second
wanted
one
to
was
play
so
another one
hard.
again.
Yeah,
That
it
was
very hard.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
That
I
All those
hated it
dungeons.
so much.
Yeah.
I never wanted to play
But
another
it
Zelda
looked
again.
so cool. Why did it look so cool? As a kid, that was the best. Man,
I-
I
yeah.
want to go back in time so bad and just tell my kid self, just wait for the video games,
know,
man. It's going
I
to
know.
get so crazy.
I know.
When you're in
Speaking-
your 30s, it's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
Speaking of, and I'll end this with the video game talk, but I mean, speaking of like games that are coming out, one that I'm excited about that I'm sure you two will probably be excited about as well, Square Enix, which is the company that made all of the Final
Talk
Fantasy
about the
games,
Marvel one?
has
Who
partnered
knows when
with
that's coming
Marvel. We don't know when it's coming out yet, but we are getting an action RPG centered around the Marvel universe,
Ooh.
but that's very Final Fantasy-esque. So I think for a lot of our likes,
Hit
I
or
think
miss, man. I
It
don't
could
know.
be, but it could be awesome.
Yeah, that's the problem when you like something so much that if somebody fucks it up even a
Yeah.
little, you're like, no!
Yeah.
Bad!
Yeah, I get that. I get that too. So okay, Brad. Final question then. Death Wish or Valhalla?
All right. Death Wish Iced, Valhalla Hot.
Really?
Oh,
Whoa.
look
Okay.
at you.
Is there a reason behind?
You were
it?
ready for this
Yeah.
question.
He
I like
told
that.
me he'll end it with that. So I- but no, it's true. I love iced Death Wish. Like I drink hot too, obviously.
Yeah, but you like it cold
iced,
better.
For some reason, I just love iced Death Wish. It
Tastes
just
a little
goes
bit like
down real
chocolate.
Smooth. It's just, But Valhalla is it's a really flavorful cup of coffee.
It's got
It
nice
really
layers
is.
to it.
Yeah, it's got a lot of layers. Like it's a good weekend coffee. I drink that one on the weekend.
It's a good weekend coffee.
That's
That's,
the
our
new-
new motto.
It's a new tagline.
No, I
Valhalla
drink that-
Java. It's a good weekend
I
coffee.
drink it all-
We'll
I
tell
drink
we'll
that
tell
for
Zach
all week.
Wild that.
We'll tell
Next
Zach
time we see him.
to say that out loud.
It's
Well,
great, man. It's good through a Chemex, good through the drip. No matter how you make it.
All
They're
right,
both good.
that's
well,
awesome.
Well,
Last of the Jedi on Instagram.
yeah, last
And
the
Xbox.
Jedi. I'll put that on here. Oh yeah, and on Xbox for those of you who are out there and Destiny fans can find you killing monsters. and
Pretty
aliens over
soon
there.
he'll be part of the Flesh Clappers.
Probably gonna happen.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, Phoenix Unchained.
And man, I've said it a couple times on this show already. We've been friends for a very long time, and I'm looking forward to the rest of our lives
That's 20 years.
being friends. And it was really great to
Are
have
you
you on
guys
the
gonna
show.
make out?
Yeah, we'll make out.
Can I join in?
No.
Jeff, don't speak for me.
But yeah, man, it's great that not only have we been friends for so long, but we get to work in the same place
No,
and,
yeah, it's great. I get
and
to
crush
work,
it for a company as cool as frickin' Death Wish Coffee.
work with some of my best friends. It's amazing.
That makes me believe more and more that life is a simulation.
Yeah. Thank
We
you
are-
to the Matrix.
We are in a simulation
Yeah.
right now. Because it just seems I'm just blown away by how fucking lucky we are.
Yeah.
All these chumps that we've known each
It's
other
not-
for so long, just being
It's
chumps all
alright.
the time.
It started luck with like Mike and Eric and Kane. In the
Right.
beginning.
You're right.
It's not lucky for you. You fucking took it, and you came here. You grabbed it, and you fucking took it for yourself.
It's true.
But
Don't-
yes, you're fortunate.
I can't
wouldn't
take
consider it
compliments.
lucky.
You can make me blush.
I don't think we're not lucky.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
We work hard to continue to caffeinate the world.
But you
That's
know,
the
I'll work
deal.
hard my whole life, and you can work jobs that just fucking suck.
Yeah,
I
for
worked
sure.
hard. I worked hard at Esperanto. I worked hard in the dental lab, and it was nothing like what we have here.
Yeah.
It's just too cool, and I'm forever fucking grateful, and I'm so glad you're fucking here, my dude.
Me too.
Hell yeah.
All
Hell
right.
yeah.
This has been Fueled by Deathcast, a Death Wish Coffee Company podcast production. Thanks for listening.